Hi. Right, I'm on the radio.
Good morning. Welcome to Monday on BBC One. Getting underway now at 6 with breakfast.
I learned it by really going to school. This is the real school.
At home to Tottenham.
From beautiful Hever Castle in Kent, looking resplendent this morning. Today's forecast, well, once again, it's sunshine and showers.
Stone there on display there, and as you can see, so heavy that's been brought in via forklift back of a pickup.
Honestly,
it's a big old unit, that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's 11 minutes past 6, and Carol is out and about with the weather for us this morning. There was some pretty dramatic weather over the weekend. She's at Hever Castle in Kent. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. You're absolutely right, Lou. Some parts of the UK had over a month's worth of rain in just 3 days, and there are lots of flood warnings in force at the moment. But here at Hever Castle, it's dry and it is looking fabulous. In fact, if I get out of the way, you can get a better look at it. So it is the former childhood home of Anne Boleyn, who was the second wife of Henry VIII and also mother of Elizabeth I. It dates back to the 13th century and it's crenellated, so you can see the battlements in the castle walls. It's moated and allegedly it's also haunted. And up the outside of it you can also see the Virginia creeper and the Boston ivy, vibrant red. We'll see a bit more of that, of course, when day breaks. Now, it's dry here at the moment, but the forecast for this week remains unsettled. What we're looking at today, 12 to about 18 degrees. So the forecast for the rest of the week does remain unsettled for most of us as well, Dan and Lou.
Thank you very much for that, Carol. We'll be back at Hever Castle throughout the morning for you. Thanks, Carol.
Thank you very much. Should we have a look at the papers this morning?
Yeah, that's a story we're going to come back to about 8:30 this morning as well. We'll be speaking to one family that's been in a similar situation, trying to see a loved one and unable to do that for a long time.
Carol's out and about today. She's in the childhood home of Anne Boleyn, which is looking lovely. Very good morning.
Good morning. Yes, this is Hever Castle in Kent, and right next to me is Anne Boleyn's orchard, and you can see this tree here absolutely laden with apples. Now, there's a wide variety of apples and pears grown here, many of the English variety, including the Flower of Kent, which is supposedly the type of apple which sparked Newton's theory of gravity. Most of the fruit's used for decoration, but some of it is used by the chef in the kitchen. And Hever Castle itself behind me is crenellated, moated and allegedly haunted as well. Looking beautiful this morning under some relatively clear skies. Now, the forecast for this week remains unsettled. We're tied on. Lou and Dan.
Thank you. We shall follow closely. Very nice bit of topiary behind you. Have you seen that?
Oh, it's
very
lovely.
Nice, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Anne. Yep. Back with Carol later. So nearly 1 million people could lose.
Consistently from the Chancellor on this.
But just to come back to that question, do you think that higher infections are a price worth paying to protect?
Isolate strategy. What we don't want to see is that kind of political decision that's right for a community. But I think people are increasingly anxious and want to know that there is an end in sight, and the government are not providing that.
Can I ask you about one other subject this morning?
All of the guidance, which of course, as you know, differs in some parts of the country.
OK, good to talk to you this morning. Bridget Phillipson, thank you very much for your time. Good to speak to you on the programme.
You are watching BBC Breakfast. Right now we get the news to travel and the weather wherever you are. Headlines in a couple of minutes.
Good morning from BBC London. I'm Tolu. Residents not to go to each other's houses unless absolutely essential. Figures released last week show London has one of the worst rates for the spread of the virus in the country. Situation then, the tubes are... Let's take a look at the weather with Elizabeth Rizzini.
Hello, good morning.
I'm back with the latest from BBC London in half an hour.
Skydiving great grandma jumping from 15,000 feet to raise money for charity.
Good morning from Hever Castle in Kent, where it's a lovely, tranquil start to the day, albeit chilly. The forecast, well, it's going to be another day of sunshine and showers. Some of the showers heavy and thundery with hail and blustery in the south. But I'll have all the details in about 10 minutes.
He's certainly got some questions to answer.
Can we also, Chris, talk about restrictions, because there's some of the news...
Labour hope that the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, will be hauled to the Commons today to explain things. He's certainly got some questions to answer.
Can we...
Degree of different rules and regulations in different parts of England, and they can change at a moment's notice. Instead, red, amber and green, or something like that, signifying the most significant. We'll get our heads around them.
Chris Mason, thank you very much.
The city of Ventimiglia is also cleaning up. With shops and restaurants destroyed by the water, many are asking the government to declare a state of emergency.
Let's catch up with the weather right here. Thankfully, not quite like that. 11 minutes past 7. Carol is at Hever Castle this morning, which is looking very lovely and calm there. Carol, morning.
It absolutely is, Lou. Yes, good morning, everybody. And just earlier, Dan was referring to the topiary hedge. Take a look at this one right next to me. This is a yew hedge, and it's just on the edge of the Tudor garden. But I want to show you something else as Lewis, our cameraman, swings round to this Tudor village. This was designed in the early 1900s by William Waldorf Astor, and it was designed to house his family and his friends. It's rather lovely, isn't it? Now it's used for commercial purposes. As Lou was saying, though, it is a nippy start to the day, but very tranquil. There's some fog to watch out for. First thing across parts of southwest Scotland and southwest England in particular. But the forecast for this week is a blustery one and also one of sunshine, although for some of us on Wednesday it will be that bit drier.
Carol, thank you so much.
I've got some breaking news to bring you.